Mic check. All right, then. It seems that most of us are here. Hi, Atticus, and we have Upramea already in. Okay, we are waiting for a couple more students, so we might just go through the usual. All right, so things like please let me know if you're very confused. Type in the chat. Always here to listen to you guys. Today will be the last session with me. So next week you'll have a different teacher, and your teacher will be just as engaging. Okay, so I'm just letting you guys know in advance. So if you attend next week and you're wondering, where's Teacher Tatum? Don't panic, okay? You'll just be going through some paper two stuff instead. All right. So welcome to 10AP live sharing. I'm just gonna go through the usual already. Okay, we're on lesson 6, and lesson 6 is just going to be a very easy breezy kind of thing. Okay, we're not going to go through any new concepts. We're just going to revise everything that we've learned so far, so don't panic. Okay, and as well as if you have not been attending the sessions regularly, don't worry, you won't be missing anything because we will be summarizing everything that we learned today. Okay, so it's the best time to attend. All right, welcome to lesson 6 summary. Okay, so we're going to do that. And of course, we have 3 videos lined up. So I would really, really like for everyone to cooperate together. Okay. All right, amnesia. So we've learned so far what it means to consider you're writing a good piece of writing. Okay. In general, you want it to be detailed, you want it to be clear. And the third thing you want is to definitely be logical so that nothing gets in the way of your reader being entertained and interested in what you guys have to say. Okay. So what counts as good writing? It doesn't have to be too cheap, meaning it doesn't have to display what you would consider overly complex language. Okay, so based on what you do have, we're just going to stretch you a little bit more. That's not to say there's no place for good vocabulary. Of course, it means that you just need to pick very clear words. If the words that you're using are clear enough, you need not stretch for terribly complex ones. So for example, the word walk over here, it might not be as clear as the word okay. I would need you to stride over to this part of the classroom, okay? Or I need you to hurry over, okay? Go in a very hurried way that will indicate your speed and all of that. But we don't need you guys to use words like ambulate this way. Doesn't make sense. Okay, and it often gets in the way of your reader's understanding. Okay, doesn't have to be a long story either. So long as it's clear, logical, interesting, I will pass you on everything else. Okay, and of course, the word count in PSL is only 150 words. So if you can condense everything into 150 words, more power to you. Okay. Where are we now? We are at summary. We will try and check if you guys have improved in your writing. Okay, so that's going to be that. This is not the bribe. Okay, so do you remember what we talked about last week? We talked about endings last week. So I'm going to start off with 2 videos. I want you guys to watch the beginning one. Remember what this story was about? It was about this guy who is the emperor somehow turning into a llama because of an evil witch trying to take over his empire. And then this guy who is a farmer, common farmer, helps him, right? Even though he doesn't really need to. I guess he's a very kind person. All right, so helping the emperor trying to return back to the castle, even though the emperor was a jerk to him and said basically, I'm just going to destroy your farm and build my summer house, right? Build a big castle over your farm, which was really not nice. Okay, so if we just end it there, it's not going to be very, very satisfying at all. I'm just going to let you watch the official ending, and then I want you guys to have a think about, you know, what was good about it. All right, so we're gonna look at that. Do you guys need to have a recap of what's happened so far between the emperor and the farmer? How many of you want a recap of that? You want to look at last week's video? How many of you? Can I have a show of hands, please? How many of you need the recap? Okay, it's not a lot of people. Okay, so we'll watch the ending together. All right, we'll watch the ending together, and then you guys will see what sort of problems have been solved. All right, and then of course, please adjust your computer's volume. It tends to be the case that everybody has different volume settings. Okay, we're gonna watch this.
Oh, now you stop being so hard on yourself. All is forgiven.
You're sure?
Oh, it's not the first time I was tossed out a window, and it won't be the last. What can I say? I'm a rebel.
Whoa, Tiger. Oh, hey, I gotta use that arm later. Okay, buddy, take care. He's a sweet guy. So, you lied to me.
I did?
Yeah. You said when the sun hits this ridge just right, these hills sing. Well, pal, I was dragged all over those hills and I did not hear any singing. So, I'll be building my summer home on a more magical hill. Thank you.
Couldn't pull the wool over your eyes, huh?
No, I'm sharp. I'm on it. Looks like you and your family are stuck on the tuneless hilltop forever, pal.
You know, I'm pretty sure I heard some singing on the hill next to us. In case you're interested.
Boom, baby!
Boom, baby!
You'd be the coolest dude in the nation, or the hippest cat in creation. But if you ain't got friends, then nothing's worth a fuss. A perfect world will come to be when everybody here can see that a perfect world begins and ends. A perfect world begins and ends. A perfect world begins and ends with us.
Okay, so the ending, something like, oh, the character gets to live in the hill next door. All right, questions for everybody. We all know that if we end the story here, just as the characters have survived a terrible ordeal, it's not so satisfying. Would anybody like to share what they liked about the real ending? Why is ending it this way where the two of them become friends? Why is it better than, just ending it here? Does anybody have a reason for me? Any reason will do. You can raise your hands. I'll let you guys have the microphone. Not so sure? That's okay. Okay, so it's a happier ending, says Apramea. Yeah, okay, that's good. Why don't you come to the microphone and explain a little bit more why it's a happier ending as compared to this ending where the emperor sort of saves the farmer's life, but the emperor is still sort of a llama, right? Apramea, why is it a happier ending?
It is a happier ending because the emperor still hasn't fully trust the 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 the
The farmer?
more plumper person, but in the ending they actually became true friends and they trusted each other.
That's great. Yeah, it's more optimistic. We see the character becoming better and more friendly. I like that idea, Pramea. Bye. Okay, right. And we also see all the problems being resolved. He's no longer a llama. They have a spell that turned him back into a human being. All right. The two of them became best friends. They live next to each other. All right. It would be very odd for him to just sort of, even though they've become best friends, sort of build his summer house on top of that hill over the farmer's house, right? Just sort of, I'm going to destroy your farm. I haven't changed anything about myself. That would be terrible, wouldn't it? Okay, it'd be betrayal number 5. We have so many betrayals going on. Okie dokie. So there's that. We have to think about how will we satisfy the reader? How will we make sure that the reader is well taken care of? So that was last week's lesson. So let's remember what happened. John Doe was in hospital because his F1 car was sabotaged. That was our story. And then the manager was caught. How dare you, manager? Because he wants to get all of the money from John Doe losing a race. Okay, a lot of high stakes games. Your homework last week was tell me what happens next. We found out that the manager was the bad guy, and so what? Okay, we looked at what the police might do. We looked at what the manager might do, but we didn't really look at what John might do. I really liked the answers in the homework given. Okay, we have Aprame and Hongjie giving us some good examples on our Telegram group. Aprame's answers are like these, and you will see all of the clear actions being underlined for you. I would like to see some steps to the resolution. Don't just tell me they all lived happily ever after. Bah, nobody likes that. Okay, so John Doe looked aghast into the eyes of his manager. I'm going to assume that the police brought the manager over in Aprame's story and asked, "What did you do? Go and confess to John what you have done." Okay, so John Doe looking aghast. Okay, so this is one action, looking aghast into your eye, to the manager's eyes. This is a second action. You have some thoughts to yourself. How could my manager betray me? What should I do now? Etc. Elise asking what is aghast. Shocked. Shocked. Okay, if teacher Tatum, who is behind the screen, suddenly jumps up behind you, you will be absolutely aghast, right? Definitely. Horrified and shocked at the same time. And what's the third action we have here? John Doe's face lit up and a grin spread across it. Okay, so some emotions being described here. I like how you sandwich the action with emotions as well. Okay, so of course I have sort of tweaked it so it all fits into one slide. Upper May's answer was longer if you're in our Telegram group. John Doe's face lit up and a grin spread across it. And why did he smile? Because he decided to suggest a bet with the manager. So I guess Upper May's story has a more interesting ending by giving it a little more extension here. Upper Male wanted the class to guess the bet. Do you want to share what the bet is? You can raise your hand if you want to. What's the bet? Is it if you can win against me in a race, then I will reduce your or I will not press charges or something like that, right? I'm trying to guess. Did you have the answer for us? What's the bet?
Yeah, the bet is like he has to jail. He has to stay in jail for 1 year, and then by the end of that 1 year, he should have thought of a way to escape from the police, but not by escaping unscathed or um breaking the rules, but by following the rules, he has to prove that he's innocent and come out of jail.
But he's not innocent.
Yeah, but he has to try. If not, he has to stay there.
Okay. I bet you can't weasel out of jail in 1 year. Oh, all right. So that's the bet, is it? That's interesting. Do you think he'd succeed, Upper Mayo? What do you think is going to happen?
I feel like a yes and no, but in my if I'm writing this as a compa, I will write it as a yes, but not. I will say that he didn't escape in a proper way. He ran out of jail, like he somehow broke out.
Oh, prison breaking. Okay, so like escape from prison, maybe dig a tunnel or something. I like that. That's
And
interesting. All right. Bye, Upper Mayo.
bye.
Okay, so yeah, you could have a sequel to it. There's no rule saying that you can't, okay? But of course, if you have a composition, make sure to end it properly just so that you don't have to write the sequel for examiner. But for this exercise, I kind of like it, okay? You can have an episode 2 if you like, because this is our class story. Okay, Hong Jie's answer different actions as well. Okay, what happens to John Doe? John Doe was really angry to hear the news. I would suggest Hong Jie, if you want, you can be a little bit clearer. What would you do to show that you're angry? I want some clear actions. Can anyone in the class explain to me what are some actions he can do? Atticus, do you have some answers? I would like to hear you speak for us. What are things you do to show that you're angry? Atticus, mooching? Any one of you? Okay, well, you can definitely talk in the chat as well. I see some answers here. Was really angry to hear the news. Maybe you turn your hands into little fists like that. Balled his hands into fists. Yeah, I like that. Clenched your hands into fists. Yeah, that works too. He could shout as well. Shout. Shouted furiously. Okay, in frustration. You might not even have to use the words. Oh, maybe the words he's using are very harsh. Of course, we don't allow you guys to curse in class, but if you wanted to work around it, you could say he shouted expletives. Okay, expletives came pouring out of his mouth. Expletives are censored versions of the word. Likewise, we have second action. John Doe felt confused as his manager had always helped him before. He even brought him a new wheel and gave him extra money whenever John Doe won. Okay, I like more exact actions if we can. Okay, felt confused. Other ways to say felt confused. Do we have them? Okay, yeah, maybe he put his head in his hands. Put his head in his hands in confusion. Other ideas? Maybe he started crying. Okay, shed some confused tears. Yeah, sometimes when you're confused and you're frustrated at the same time, you end up crying. Yeah, I like these. So your class is helping Hongjie to extend his answer, which is always nice. And then the third thing, this is a very clear action. I really, really appreciated it. John Doe was still sort of glad, relieved. I think you want the word relieved and not glad because you of course have suffered some terrible things, right? You're not going to be glad immediately, but you would definitely be relieved, was happy that the police caught the culprit, and he requested that the police lock him up and only release Mr. Manager if he returned the money. I like this. Okay, the request is a clear action. I can imagine. Well done. Okay, if you guys wanted to try it, you can still send your answers to me on Telegram. But for now, we will move on. All right. Since this is our last class, we're going to do a quick recap. And the reason why I'm asking us to do a quick recap is so that when I show you the next video, you guys are able to explain exactly what happened. Okay. So, first thing, recall, you can think about what personality your characters can have. Okay, don't just give me plain actions, give me actions that show me something new. Okay, maybe they show me your character's personality. What kind of person are they, right? So, this was the example I gave you last time in lesson 1. If you think the elderly lady, okay, John Doe's mother, is very concerned, what kind of person is she, right? She might cry while she talks to the guard. Let me see my son. Okay, maybe she's a warm or caring person. I want actions that show that. Maybe she keeps touching the glass as if reaching out to her. Let me see my son. That sort of thing. Okay, actions can show personality. What else can actions do? I want you to think smart. Okay, you don't need to have a lot of actions in the story. But if you have a certain big action, you can also break them up into finer ideas. Search for the finer ideas in each action. Here's the example we gave you. I don't want to see my car crashed. All right, give me the smaller actions that happen in between, okay? Maybe a fire broke out at the back of the car. Maybe the person behind the driver could not swerve away. That's how the two cars collided, right? Okay, so we have smaller actions in the middle. All right, what else can our actions do? What else would I like to see besides breaking down the actions into smaller bits? Each action might need a little bit of explaining. You must think like your reader. What are things the reader would need to know? And one of the most important things for you to think about is why. Always why. Okay, so if Elise, for example, tickled Mooching, the question is why? Why did Elise tickle Mooching? Mooching maybe was being a little bit sad. Maybe Elise wanted to do something. So a motivation is a want. What does Elise want to do? Maybe cheer up Mooching. Okay. Or maybe Mooching was, disturbing a younger student. Maybe Elise wanted to remind Mooching not to bully others, so she tickled him. I don't know. Okay. So, but if you don't tell me, the reader will be very confused. So this was an example. We can't just say Mr. Manager sabotaged John's car. Give me why, right? He's supposed to be Mr. Manager is supposed to be somebody that John trusts. All right. So in other words, you give him a reason to do something bad. All right. In this case, it was about bets. Terrible things. I hope one day that when you guys are much older, we try and avoid gambling as much as possible. Okay. Another thing that we need to explain is how does the character feel? Why did the character do something? It could also be answered by how did they feel about it, right? So if Atticus, right? If Atticus one day took his own homework and tore it up, he tore up his own homework. We explain maybe how Atticus felt, right? Maybe Atticus was frustrated. I don't know how to do this, and then he tore it. Or maybe Atticus really, really didn't like the kind of work that he did, and he tore it up because he wanted to start over. That might be something simpler, right? Tell me about your character's feelings. Is he frustrated? Is he upset, etc.? Okay, so if, for example, we know the car mechanic tries to buy John Doe a gift, okay, a get well soon card. How come he did that? Right? What are the emotions? Oh, he felt very bad for for John Doe, right? He felt very sad and he didn't want John Doe to suspect him because he was a big fan. How does he feel after giving the card? Well, maybe he's feeling a little bit nervous. He's not so sure if John Doe will accept his apologies and all of that, even though he didn't do anything. All right. And finally, what we learned in our classes is that you want to de-escalate the problem. Show me a good closure, meaning you must settle all the questions that your character has in their mind. Okay, what else do we need to know about the actions? We can't just end it abruptly with no with no closure for the reader. You have to think like the reader, what will make my reader feel comfortable, right? Likewise, if you just tell me, oh, they caught the culprit, the end. John Doe should be careful next time. Oh, what a terrible ordeal, which is how half the P3 students write, okay? Half the P3 students write like this. They tell you what happened. They tell you whether they would like for this to happen again or not ever happen again. It's kind of boring. It follows the same format. And then, of course, they tell you how the character felt. Okay, I like a little bit more. Okay, think like your reader. Why would they be unhappy with this? You look at your ending and you think to yourself, what is not settled yet? Okay, so the public will be really upset. How come the manager doesn't get punished? Right? How come John Doe's in the hospital? Does he go back to racing? Is he scared of racing after that? Does John Doe get his memories back? Right? All of these questions unanswered. Ask yourself the questions, think like your reader, and then answer them yourself. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a quick video. It's going to be this film called Presto. And then, of course, I'm going to send you guys a link to this. I want students to answer these questions. I will assign you guys something to think about, and we will watch it again if you guys need to. Please let me know if you need to watch the video again, okay? So you're going to adjust your volume as well. Okay, so that's that. I hope you enjoyed that video. All right, so we're gonna go through these really quickly. I have some questions for you, and I hope you don't mind that I've assigned some of you to these, okay? So Elise, please help us to recap lesson one. Lesson one was about personality. What kind of person is, and you can either choose Mr. Magician or the rabbit, okay? The magician's name is Presto, and the rabbit's name is Alex. So you can think about, are they kind? Are they mean? Are they hot-tempered? Are they mischievous? And then give me some proof over here using their actions. Okay, Muching and Atticus, you need to explain to me and the class what exactly happened. We can't just say the rabbit bullied the magician. I'd like you guys to list some ways. Okay, break them down to smaller parts. L3, we have in lesson 3, we learned about motives. So Upper May going to explain to us, all right, what was the bunny's reason for being mean or bullying, quote, quote, bullying the magician? Okay, some reasons might be nice. I want everybody to think about, pick one action. Okay, well, we're going to think about this together. Either we're going to talk about how the bunny saved the magician or how the audience applauded. We want to give some feelings to these as well. We can't just say the audience applauded, they were crazy. That doesn't make sense. Okay, and then together we'll think about the ending. What else do we need to mention here? Okay, and then after that, we'll end really nicely, and you have optional homework. You can write a sequel to this story. If you guys want to think about what happens next, that might be nice. So for example, if 1 month later, Presto and Alec have another argument, what was the argument about? How did they solve it? Do they have another on-screen problem again? I want you guys to be creative, okay? So give me the rest of the story if you guys like. Okay, so Elise, let's talk about it. Do you want to talk about Mr. Magician or the rabbit? Who are we talking about today? Elise?
Yes,
Yes. Who you want to talk about, the magician or the rabbit?
the rabbit.
Ah, okay. What's his personality like?
The rabbit is mischievous and very playful.
Ah, mischievous. Okay, can you give me some proof that he's mischievous?
The rabbit was mean to the magician but that his underwear dropped.
Ah, okay. So in the middle of a performance, remove it. He removed, which is the exact action we're looking for today. Removed the magician's pants. Any other proof that he's mischievous?
The rabbit was hiding behind so that the magician would not be able to do his trick.
Did not cooperate. Yeah, do not cooperate to perform the trick. Okay, hid behind the curtains. Yeah, I like those. Okay, so we have 2 pieces of action in one. Well done, Elise. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, so we want to prove that this rabbit is mischievous. Don't just say he was mischievous. Once upon a time, there was a rabbit. He was mischievous. No. Okay, give me some proof using some actions. Okay, Mooching and Atticus, this is your time to shine. In what ways did the rabbit bully the magician? You can list as many as you know. Are your microphones working? I hope so. Yes. Mooching, go ahead.
So like the rabbit made a little trap and then the magician's fingers got stuck in the trap.
Ah, okay. Snapped the magician's. Oh, I see that Atticus' microphone is not working. Please type your answer instead. Snap the magician's fingers in a mouse trap. That was mean. Okay. Anything else, Mooching?
I don't think so.
Other things he did to bully the magician?
Oh.
Do you need to watch it again?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Let's see. All right. Bullying the magician. Yeah. Do you have any other ideas, Mooching?
So like the magician put his hand inside a magic hat, and then the bunny started pulling stuff out from his sleeve. And then when the magician wanted to like get the bunny used the magician's own hand to poke his eyes.
Yeah, okay. Poked. Made the magician poke his own eye. Oh, terrible. Terrible things. I bet it hurt. Thank you very much, Mooching. Bye.
Hi.
Okay. Atticus, I don't see an answer. So you know what? We will leave this blank. All right. You guys can be creative. I'm sure you saw a lot of other things in that video clip too. All right. The bunny sounds like a terrible character. We need some redemption here. Apramea, can we think about the reasons why the bunny was being mean? Hello?
The bunny was mean because the magician did not give it the carrot.
Yeah, he wanted to eat, so he was kind of hangry. That makes sense. Do you ever get hangry? You're so hungry that you're angry. Magician did not feed him. Yep. All right, so in other words, why was he being mean? He wanted the magician to feed him, and that's why he was being mean. Okay, so probably he would cooperate if the magician did feed him. Yeah, thank you very much, Apramea, for that astute observation. All right, we have a couple more to go and then we will end it. All right, so we have that. Do you guys want to do one or two? Type in the chat so I can understand your preferences. The bunny saved the magician or the audience applauded. Which one shall we do today? What is the bunny's name and gender? The bunny's name is Alec, A-L-E-C. Hey, have a think about it. Which one of these do you want to explain? All right, let's think about that one then. Okay, so the bunny saved the magician. How come he saved the magician? How was he feeling when he tried to save the magician? You can't, the bunny can't just save him for no reason. Yeah, I like that. Worried. Yeah, he didn't want the magician to die. Okay, that's interesting. He also felt something else. Could be very exasperated. He's like, oh no, even though I don't like the magician, I better save him. He's like that. Okay, after saving the magician, any emotions after that? Proud of himself? I like that. Yeah, proud of himself. I did something good even though somebody was mean to me. Right? Relieved. Yeah, that's a good idea. And it's a very exact word. He's kind of like, yes, nobody died, which is great. Okay. Everybody think together. What does the reader want to know at the end? Right? Why is the ending good? Why is the ending really, really good? Because you must help the reader understand. Hey, did the bunny get his carrot in the end? And the answer is yes. Okay. The magician finally fed him. Can we end the story like that? What else do we need to mention? You guys want to watch the ending again? Sure, let's do that. Let's watch the ending again. Okay, what did we like about the ending? What does the ending show us? Yeah, okay. How did the two characters change in the end? Yeah, what did we see? Alec got fed, yeah. Alec got fed here. All right, so between the two characters, actually what happened in the end? Are they still sort of angry at each other? Think about it. Hmm. Okay. They started to appreciate each other. They appreciated each other more. Yeah, they became friends. Anything else? Yeah, okay. So the ending shows us about how the performance went. Yes, how did the performance go? Ah, okay. So this was very interesting. The audience didn't know that they were struggling at all. So you could say that when they gave a standing ovation, that's something that you need to show the reader as well, okay? The audience gave a standing ovation, meaning they all stood up to clap, right? So the performance really, really went well. All right, so that's the end of our session. I hope everybody will be very clear with the sorts of actions you choose in your stories, and then of course you can try these if you guys are interested. Okay, type them out in the Telegram. All right, so you guys may leave. Okay, we have a little bit of announcement as well, same things as we usually do. If you're still not in our Telegram group, please join it. The reason why we need you guys to join this is so that your next teacher can take you through some paper 2 stuff. It'd be very interesting. We have other subjects as well, English, math, science. So if you wanted to join our regular program, hey, good thing for you is that we are having trial classes in November. So scan this code if you'd like to sign up for a trial class and figure out what it would be like to be in our real sessions. Okay, upcoming holiday workshops are coming as well. These are going to cover things that are not usually covered in our normal classes, things like oral, things like answering techniques, things like, for us in the P5 level, we'll be studying about media, which is very important. Okay, what do we look for when we look at factual texts? What do we look at when we look at, what do we need to analyze when we look at pictures beside words? Okay, so your pamphlets, your posters, your informal and formal writing, etc. Okay, so there's that. I'm just gonna leave the screen at here, and if anyone has any questions, could you raise your hand so we can look at it together? Any questions for me? All right, so if there are no questions, thank you for attending my class until the end. All right, I really appreciate you. We're all very attentive. And I'll see you guys another time. Hopefully, I'll see you guys during the trial classes or during the holiday workshop. So if you don't see me, I guarantee you all of the other teachers are fun and exciting too. All right, bye.